Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another long-awaited episode of the Unnamed Podcast. As you can see, we're joined here with a third person, an extra special person. So obviously you got me, you got Chris, and let's go ahead, let this new guy, this random guy, introduce himself.
Hi everybody, my name's Will Haywood. I don't.
They
What else
better
you?
know who he is. They know who he is.
Yeah, you gotta know.
He's the king of the castle. He's the king of the castle. All right, so
Everyone doing, man. Happy
yeah,
to be
yeah.
here.
Well,
We're so glad to have you, man.
it's
Hell yeah.
been a little bit of a while since we've had a guest on, so we were like, no one better than Will Haywood. So
Hey,
Yep.
welcome aboard.
yeah, happy to be here.
We're gonna talk
Yep.
about whatever.
What a nice mug you have.
Yeah, thanks. You like it?
Yeah, of course. For the
It's a bunch
audio listener, Will has a mug with birds on it.
it's like I got this at Barnes and Noble. It's like a foul language bird mug. So you got some good ones on here. Bearded tit, woodcock. If I finish this coffee by the end of it, I'll show you on the inside of the mug, there's just a bird that's just saying the word tit. Can I say, I mean, I could say these
That's
words, right?
awesome.
It's just
No, you're
birds.
not allowed to.
No, you
That's
can't
I'm
swear.
not
You can't
speaking
swear.
foul language. It's just birds. That's all.
Yeah,
are they
yeah.
actual like real birds?
Yeah, the tufted titmouse, these are all real. Look, try not to spill my coffee, but there you
Look
go.
at that. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Blue-footed booby, that's probably my favorite.
Well,
All
let
That's
me ask you a
awesome.
question before we get into all the stuff we want to talk about. I want to ask you something. What kind of bird do you think you are, William?
Wow, very insightful question. Honestly, I don't know. That's like I
That
feel
is a
like,
hard. That is a tough question.
can I say I'm a penguin? Because a penguin's a bird, but I feel like it's kind of like an outside the box pick.
I would let that slide.
Hey, wait, that's a
Just
pun.
this one time.
A pun.
Give
A
me
penguin.
3 seconds. I'll be right back. All right. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
All right.
Right?
I would say, I mean, there's a lot of different types of birds out there if we're gonna keep going along with this. You got
It's
the
good.
peregrine falcon.
Good pick. Yeah, they're quick.
You got the red-tailed hawk.
Yeah. Shout out the Hawks of St. Joe's.
Facts, you're right there. Don't forget.
Right.
Um, where do you think he went?
Yeah, I don't know. What was that? We just started. Like,
No,
you
yeah,
guys.
we're going.
I mean, I could talk about more
Yeah,
birds.
oh, we're good. Oh, we're back.
I'm back. I'm back. I had to just relay some bad news. Um,
Oh,
What?
no, nothing.
all right.
All right, what kind of bird are you?
I was talking about penguins. Although I feel like if I'm gonna be a bird, it's got to be one that's flying. I feel like that's
I
like
feel like you'd be a puffin.
that seemed derogatory. Where you be like a what are those flightless birds in Australia? Like the emus?
I think that's yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Well,
remember,
so
there's no kangaroos in
that's why
Austria.
yeah, no kangaroos in Austria, but you got to think about it. That's why I'm the number one life insurance salesman. I'm the Limu Emu.
Wait, wasn't there a kangaroo in Austria though? Didn't you guys hear about that? Like there was like it broke out from a zoo.
I did
And
not
like
hear about that.
because I remember you were talking about no kangaroos in Austria because you have the one shirt that says that, but
Oh,
for looking it up and everyone being confused because there was like a loose kangaroo and like
I do. I remember this. It's true.
somewhere in Austria. I don't know.
Oh man. All right. So
My bad.
just cut that kid off. We're done. We're talking
Yeah, yeah.
enough with the birds. Enough with the birds. So a little background on the three of us. We and two other people, CJ and Mr. Chris Durrani. Um,
Shout outs.
big shout outs, big ups. Our freshman year of college, we had a radio show with the five of us, ironically named The Five.
Yeah, we got real clever with it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we got real clever, just like with the name
Just
with this
same.
podcast.
As you can tell, we're great with names.
Yep, terrific, terrific. So yeah, this is like a little reunion for us, like a little
Mhm.
little one-parter.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. I'm happy to be back. I missed this.
What was
uh,
your favorite part of like doing the five?
Honestly, like people calling in was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember, I mean, a lot of the times I feel like it was just like our parents that were listening.
Yeah, I remember
It
Chris
Yeah,
kind of
most
called
of it
in
was
a couple
our
times.
family and then like our close friends if they were
Yeah,
wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I think what the cool part about it was it's just like people that we haven't seen in a while. So my
Mm-hmm.
mom would always say like, "Oh, like I miss you so much. You're off in college, but like I get to listen in every week and hear you guys talk, and it feels like I'm like still there. It doesn't feel like you're that far away." So
yeah,
I think it was cool, like a cool way to connect with people that we didn't really like get to see as much, and like
yeah,
they could still be involved in our lives. I thought it was a cool way to keep us all connected.
I think for also for anyone who doesn't know, it was like in the radio station of the
Oh yeah.
campus. So the having to in our being in the own our own studio for like an hour, just like just hanging out, just listening to music, talking, and then like the same thing with your parent, like our parents listening, like they would always say, like my mom would be like, it's like we're listening in on your conversation because that's pretty much what we were doing. So
Yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed that a lot, which is why
that was
like when
fun.
you
That
guys
was
like asked
fun.
to be a guest on this, I was like, hell yeah, this is
Hmm.
like I miss just being able to do that every week. Should have kept it going, I think.
It was
yeah.
tough.
It
I
was
enjoyed
tough.
it,
Yeah,
but then when we always had to do late at night, and then you're like, all right. But that one semester, no, the one year we did it, it was fun.
yeah. It was a
Yeah, I
lot of.
think when we like the first semester we did it when we were like freshmen was probably the highlights.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, what? It was every Thursday night at like 9:15 p.m.
It was
Right?
late. It was definitely
It was
late.
late.
I remember
Yeah,
my parents like getting like asking me to move it earlier because they are not late people at all.
yeah. I mean, like, look, we like for what for the knowledge we had and all that stuff. Like, just we had fun. We did pretty well, I think.
Yeah,
It was
it was a good
basic
time.
stuff. It wasn't
Yeah,
like,
we like chatted a little bit and then we play like a couple songs on our phones and stuff, and then bam, like go back right back into chatting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know Will and I had a very short-lived radio station, radio show. Remember sophomore year?
Yeah. We're gonna do the DJ stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
Will and I had a radio show where we just DJ'd the whole time, and it was I think we only did like 3 episodes, and then we kind of were just like,
oh, yeah, I
Well,
remember that.
it was you DJing the whole time. I was just watching. I was like, I don't
nah,
know what I'm doing.
you were there, you were
Like,
helping.
I'll play that Vince Staples song. Like that's all I did.
Yeah.
It
Oh man, I mean,
was
no,
fun.
it was very fun. Yeah, looking back on it, like I mean, we're technically doing it now.
Yeah. Do you think that you guys would have started this podcast if it wasn't for the five?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess
Probably, honestly, probably not.
yeah, because I felt like we were like so comfortable. Like we're kind of comfortable because we know how to do it, you know?
True. True.
It's
Like
really just conversations, and I think
yeah.
it's also the fact that like you kind of we're really doing the same thing that we were doing on the show.
Hmm.
Yeah. You
Besides, we
guys
got
have
music
like
breaks.
you have good chemistry and stuff too, so it just kind
Hmm.
of works anyway. But
Thanks, man.
So kind. So kind.
all
Um,
right.
so I want to ask you a couple questions about yourself,
Yeah, please.
for those people that don't know Will, Will is very into arts and crafts.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
an artist. Will's an artist, not just with paintbrushes, pens, and pencils, but with music. Um, so I want to hear a little bit of how you got into that stuff. Why don't you go ahead and share share a little bit about yourself on how you get,
All right. Yeah.
on that.
So what do you want to hear? Do you want to hear about the music or do you want to hear about the arts and crafts?
I say arts and crafts
Whatever you feel
first.
comfortable starting with.
Because I was gonna say, I remember I started making music my freshman year of college. Kind of like I remember you got like we tried to make music a couple times together. It was just kind of like just making beats for the fun of it. And then COVID happened and I had like all the time in the world. So I thought it'd be cool to just like really give it a shot and like learn how to make different songs and learn music theory. So I think if it wasn't for COVID, I probably wouldn't be making music anymore. So I kind of just did it as like a almost out of boredom, just during quarantine, needed something to fill the time other than playing Warzone, of course.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, and then ever since then, I've just been feel like I've been just getting better, collaborating with different people. I'm working on a project right now with one of my coworkers who he's super talented. His name's Sparkling Cyanide, if you like on Spotify.
All right.
Like a one man
What kind of
band. He's
music should we
super
expect?
talented. It's like a slew of like rock, so maybe like some folk in there. But he wants me to remix one of his albums and make it lo-fi. So that's what I've been working on.
Oh.
But
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's been cool. Other than that, just making some rap beats, a lot of house music now that the weather's getting warmer.
Mm.
Hmm.
Kabir and I have been talking a lot about collaborating, putting some stuff out
You
there. But
guys said you guys were gonna drop an EP. I'm waiting for
yeah,
We've been talking about dropping an EP for like 4 years.
it.
It's been in the work for a long it's about as long as GTA
Yeah,
6 been in
Yeah,
production.
yeah.
we're
You
gonna
know,
get
we're
the Baineswood EP before GTA 6.
Yeah, I doubt it. Actually, no, you know what?
we probably
I,
will.
I
Yeah,
think we could.
yeah.
We have the
It's
songs. We're just like,
we do. We're just like it's the confidence thing. Like we were
it is, yeah.
Will and I were chatting one day. He was reading a book by Rick Rubin, right? That's who you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
Got it right over
Yeah.
there. Actually. I can see it.
Oh, no. Because you probably know more, you're reading the book. If you want to like talk about the confidence in art, like what was it? He was talking about the confidence in releasing art for
Yeah,
people.
he kind of there was a couple different things that he said. The one that really stuck out with me the most is kind of just like not to get like we're changing like I'm about to get deep on you guys, not
That's
really.
No, it's
fine.
all good.
Like he kind of not it's not even deep, but he just kind of said that each project that you work on is just like a stepping stone and like on a ladder, so you just get better and better. So like if you, for example, if you were to look at like Picasso's first painting versus his like it's almost just like
It's night and day.
every single piece that you make is not going to be like a masterpiece. You have to like progress with it. As you improve at art, so is the products that you make. So if you kind of hold yourself back and just don't think that what you're making is good enough, you're never going to progress as an artist because you need to release stuff to hear criticism, to hear feedback, to know how to improve. But if
Hmm.
you just hold on to it, keep it all for yourself, it's hard to get better that way.
Yeah.
And kind of in the same respect too, he kind of talked about like, because my problem, especially when it comes to releasing music, is it's never perfect enough for me. Like I need it to be perfect, but like that perfect point doesn't ever really seem to happen. And he kind of goes in and mentions that like sometimes imperfections are what makes something so great. For example, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is considered like an architectural failure, but it's like one of the most visited places on Earth. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's kind of just like about accepting that sometimes your work isn't going to be exactly up to your standards and just using that as a stepping stone to get better.
Yeah.
That's huge. It's
Shout out Rick Rubin.
Yeah,
Shout out
wow.
Rick Rubin. Yeah.
Because you got to think like when you're saying like the imperfections and how that makes a song like people will hear those things, or even if you hear it yourself, you'd be like, all right, well, this is what I would do differently. And it comes down to these like it's all subjective and creative. That's the way creativity works.
True.
Hmm.
So, and building, you want to build those stepping stones for years to come and always get better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
I look, oh, my bad, Kabir, you want? I didn't
no,
mean
bro,
to.
you're good. Keep going.
Well, I was just gonna say too, like if I look back at like even some of the songs that I made like 6 months ago, like the progress is so noticeable,
Hmm.
but it's I just don't release any of it so that it's only noticeable to me, and it's hard for
You
me to like
should.
really get better when
And I'm
it's
sure like
sitting on a hard
this
drive.
this has like happened to me. I like let me know if it's happened to you, but like you'll make something one day and then you'll be like, holy crap, this is like really good. And it's the same thing with like, say you're writing a script, you're making like a movie, you're like doing any kind of like any type of creative activity. You're like working on it one day and then you're like, man, this is really good. And then you'll come back to it another day and you'll be like, what the heck was I doing? And then you
Yep.
find like little flaws.
Mhm.
Then you keep working on each flaw and then finally, like yeah, each day is like a stepping stone to find like it might sound good one day, but it's at the same time it might just because, what you were saying, we try to be like perfectionists.
And a lot of those like imperfections are only noticeable to like us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, like that snare is off for a
Hmm.
second, or like the volume is like tweaked on this one part, but like do you ever notice those kind of things in like other songs that are really I mean I do sometimes if it's like
Yeah.
bad, but like a lot of the times like my friends will play me a song that they make and they're like, oh, like the mix is off or like this, like even before they play it, they're like, oh, it's not mixed or like I need to fix this part. So then when I listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I could notice that those things are off. But if he just said nothing, it's almost like it's preventing me from enjoying the song. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
already
That's
picking it
the
apart and like criticizing yourself. It's like you're kind of ruining it for other people too.
yeah,
that's the beauty of not having for me at least, not having a crazy music knowledge of like understanding like the technicalities of it. Every song sounds good to me, unless I don't
Yeah,
like it. So I don't hear those little things. So it's awesome.
yeah. Once you learn it, I've always said this too. It's like it makes really good music even better because you can like
Yeah.
appreciate what they do well, but it makes bad music so much worse.
Hmm.
Especially a lot of like I'm in no means like a super talented producer, especially I'm not good at mixing and mastering like at all. But I hear a lot of like some big label, like big name like pop rap songs that come out and they just sound so bad. Like the mix is so bad. And like I know I can do better, but like I don't know. It's just I feel like a lot of the times people are just like they push music out like it's like people are making it to make money. I feel like they're not really making it because they want to be
Passion.
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. I think
It's
Drake's a good
pretty
example
much.
of that.
Yeah, which we can all agree that Drake's last couple albums have been a little off.
Yeah,
They,
it's
like,
quantity over quality for sure.
yeah, precisely. And
And it doesn't matter. The dude could like fart on a beat and it would still go number one. Like it doesn't matter. He could do anything. Doesn't matter.
well,
You
I'll
can
give you
fart, burp, and
Yeah,
anything.
he could be whatever he wants.
I'll
Just
give you a
read
good
Dr.
example.
Seuss over some
I'll give
Beethoven.
you I'll give you like a good example. My bad talking over you, but a good example of someone who does quality over quantity. You look at a band like Tame Impala. Like they probably release like an album every like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, it's a long gap.
And yeah, that's a pretty big gap for like music stuff. And you know, still like and this music's like really good. Each album, like what you were saying, gets better and better and better, production quality wise
Hmm.
and just like kind of the creative like standpoint. And like I hate like I'm bringing this back to like movies a little bit, but like, I've been talking about it all week, but you look at Dune, the movie Dune.
I feel like I should
Um,
have watched Dune in preparation for this
Yeah,
podcast.
I know I haven't seen it either.
but I'll tell you this. So it's like, quality over quantity. All right. So the movie was supposed to come out um last year, but
Hmm.
because they're having those like the writers and actor strikes, they were like, all right, we're pushing it back. So it came out this year. Um, so essentially it was like these movies have been in like development for a while. Like the director, Denis Villeneuve, has like just been working on it. And so right after the first movie came out, that took I think there was 2018 was when Timothy Chalamet was like knew he was gonna play the lead character.
Hmm.
Um, so that's that like essentially the movie came out in 2021. Like that was a 3-year kind of thing they were working on. And then same thing with this, it was 3 year, like 2.5 years till it came out again. Um, but and like same thing, the one thing I really like, which I've been hearing a lot of since the new movie came out, is that the composer for for the scores of each movie, you guys
Hans
definitely
Zimmer, right?
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
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 What?
So this man continuously after the first movie was done, he still wrote more music for Dune, and he was sending all the music to the director. He was like, "Look, I'm writing an entire score for you, like for the next Dune movie."
Hmm.
And then so he did it for Dune 2, and now that Dune 2's over, he's like still writing another score
You
for
just
Dune
can't get enough
3.
of it.
Yeah, he's like in love with it, because it's a cool thing because pretty much the director, it's the third movie hasn't been announced, but it's gonna happen
Definitely.
just because this is the first movie in 2024 to reach like I think $100 million in sales, earn revenue. And that with that kind of success, you would think that they'd be greenlit for a third one. And he's using, and music's a great way to inspire people. Like I find myself inspired by it. Like even if you're not a musical kind of person, like you can find music compelling in a way, to help you write a story or to help you like even in the gym, music helps you focus on what you're doing and stuff like that. So
It's
I just like
fundamental.
I think music, yeah, any type of like aspect where you're creating something like that, I think it's great, because
Definitely.
you're you're not just doing it for yourself, but you're kind of like you're putting it out there and you'll be like, hey, if people resonate with this, then like, you can know, like, say if like,
Doing good.
yeah, you're doing well. Thank you, Chris, for
Yeah.
doing that for me. I was having a tough time spitting that out.
Well, I was also gonna say too, you were talking about Hans Zimmer and Dune, and I haven't seen, well, I mean, I've seen the first Dune movie, like kind of. I couldn't tell you anything about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
Uh, I'm like very much on the Dune side of TikTok right now. And I learned something pretty cool about the soundtrack. I don't know if you guys know this, but Hans Zimmer asked his flutist, or like the guy who plays the flute for his like composition band or whatever it's called.
Hmm.
And he said he wanted to like replicate the sound of the wind when he played the flute. So what the flutist did was literally invented a new instrument, like a new version of the flute. So when you listen to it, it's almost like he's playing sounds that you haven't really heard before because it's like he wants like, and the wind plays like a role in the movie, right? Like
Mhm.
something
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
thing. So a lot of the flute playing that you hear, especially in the second one, is made from like a homemade brand new instrument that's supposed to replicate like the whistling sounds of the wind, which I just thought was really
that's
cool.
interesting.
I think even at his age, like Hans Zimmer has like such a legendary like discography, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
he like that man is like cemented himself in history, but like even at that age and like he's still like I was saying like stepping stones, like finding new ways to like make things fresh and new. And I think like the soundtrack for Dune is incredible.
Oh
And,
yeah.
like
And
I just
you
think it's like cool, like finding different perspectives and new ways to do things, even after being so incredibly successful. I think that's what makes you. I think that's a testament to his greatness.
yeah. And like this guy, I know he puts on like a lot of concerts too. Like he does like a lot of live shows. And talking about that, I want to like move into our next, segment. We've all got I know a lot of us have been to concerts. I know like concerts, festivals, stuff like that. I know like I really haven't been to a lot, but I want to talk to you guys, see where you think. Like what are your thoughts on like concerts and festivals and all that? Like
They're great.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Well,
think like music is, I don't want to say it's like meant to be enjoyed live, but
mhm.
I think like even just the gap of during COVID where you weren't even able to experience live music
Hmm.
and then it coming back and being such like a unifying experience that kind of like
Oh
shows
yeah.
how important it is to just go and like I just saw one of my coworkers or old coworkers is in like an Irish folk band called
Okay.
like the Irish Twins. It's just like him and his brother. They just play like Irish folk music. And we went and even then it was
That's awesome.
just like the families were coming out, like people were just enjoying like a genre of music that I
Hmm.
wouldn't even like I'm not throwing that on Spotify.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, like because like I'm going like it's not something I'm familiar with, but like going and seeing it live, it's like, all right, maybe I will. Like
You
maybe
enjoy
like
it more. It's almost like
yeah,
when you hear it, music was made to be listened to it in person.
exactly. I mean,
So
it
when you
was
hear it,
originally that's all you could do.
exactly. So it sounds so much better, and I think it also is when you're around a group of people that are enjoying it as well, you enjoy it even more.
Yeah.
Definitely. You can really appreciate like the talent that goes into it.
Hmm.
You can
Oh yeah.
hear like when you listen to a song on Spotify, like at least like modern songs, like that there's so much like post production that goes into like every bit of that song to make it sound perfect that it kind of like you lose a bit of that. Like you kind of lose perspective of how talented some of these people are.
Yeah.
You go and see them live and you hear them sing live without anything. And that's when you really, and like they're playing the guitar right in front of you, they're playing the keys, whatever. And that's when you can really appreciate like just how talented some of these people are.
And they don't get enough credit that they deserve. Like even like the pianists or the guitarists, like
Yeah.
you don't get attention when they're over social media or whatever. But once you see them live in person, like wow. They're talented, and they
Like,
are.
yeah. And there's also so many like his my coworker's name is Nolan. Nolan is so incredibly talented, and I feel like there's so many artists like Nolan that people just don't really know about because
Yeah.
Mhm.
there's so much music and there's so many people making music that it's easy to get lost in
Yeah.
like the slew of it all, and like you kind of like you see some of these really popular artists and then you kind of like think and you see people like that aren't even cracking like 1,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. And they're like, there's so much just hidden talent out there.
Oh yeah. Like I know a couple times like Chris and I have exchanged like a few kind of like artists and their like monthly listeners will be like under like 100K or something and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you'll hear songs like that and it's just like absolutely like amazing. I know like past concert we went to we went to together like the three of us and Chris Durrani.
Mm,
We went to Hallow Brown together. Um
It's a good night.
it was a
that was
very
a
good
fun night.
yeah,
That's
so
what I remember at least.
oh yeah. Um a little background for everybody. So I kind of got like I don't know why. Would you say they're like a jazz soul fusion kind of?
Like R&B is a huge part of it,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. So they make like that kind of music and for some reason I was just vibing with it over the summer and then I found out they're having a show in Philly on Halloween night. So I was like why not? And you know me being the little introvert I am, I'm like I don't want to go alone. So I was like let me force some of my friends to come with me. Yeah, so the venue was supposed to be in a fairly big place. I think it was supposed to be like in an actual like
Concert
theater.
hall.
Yeah. Yeah, like a concert hall and
Mhm.
they moved it like 2 weeks before to like a bar because I guess ticket sales in Philly weren't as hot as they were everywhere else. Like considering the whole tour, the only place that wasn't sold out was Philly.
Are they West Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. They're from Boston.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, I think so. I think they're like because they all went to some school in Boston. I don't know. I know they because when we were talking to them, I remember the guitarist was saying that they had dropped out of school at like some Boston school they were saying.
What's the name of it? Is it Berkeley?
Might have been Berkeley.
It's
Berkeley
Berkeley
is
in
in
South
L is
Carolina.
in California.
Berkeley.
Yeah, not that one.
Oh wait, no, no,
Not
no.
that one.
UC Berkeley.
We'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
yeah, like going to that story, just like seeing kind of how people I forgot where I was going with this, but you know, I kind of introduced you guys to a new kind of
I
you know,
felt, dude, I really enjoyed their music. I was listening to them for a while after because it was also like there was less than 20 people there.
yeah.
Yeah, it was super tiny, which was so cool.
Oh yeah, and we got the opportunity to, speak with them and all that.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome too, because
Talk about their massages.
they're all like down to earth guys, and they get like decent listens on their thing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they're pretty big. Like I didn't really realize like how popular they were until like after we saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Will and I got musically profiled. Um,
Come again? What you
their
mean by
bassist, their bassist was like, I remember it was either Durrani or you, Chris, talking. Because I remember when we were first there, when they were setting up, we were talking to the bassist before the concert started.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
And,
right. Yeah.
and it was either you, Chris, or Durrani, and one of you guys were like, oh yeah, these two guys make music, and then he was like, oh
Oh, it
yeah,
was
they look
Durrani.
cool.
It
He was
was
like, yeah,
Durrani.
they definitely look like they do, and I was like, oh okay, I was
That's a
like, oh,
compliment, I
it is
think.
a compliment, yeah, but like it came, dude, like their bassist is like a Grammy award winning musician.
Is he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been
dude.
on some. I remember.
Yeah, he won a Grammy on Beyonce's.
Oh, that's right. He did work with Beyonce. I forgot
Yeah,
about
which is pretty dope. Now I can check that off my bucket list. Speak to a Grammy winning, artist. Um, but
that.
yeah, yeah, no, it was a fun night, and it was a great night for music, live music. Like what we were saying is just like absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Like kind of moving a little forward in that, like talking. I know you brought me to a concert, U.S. Girls. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, oh my God, what a night.
I'll like I'll be honest with you. I wasn't really a fan
All right, fair
before
enough.
before, and then when I saw them live, I was just like, this is different, you know? I really enjoyed it live. And I think like live music too is a great way for people to kind of get like introduced to artists because sometimes you'll show up to a random show, you'll be like, oh, who is this? Then you check them out, and then it gives you a gateway to like them.
Yeah, that's how it was with was it Floyd Fuji who opened for Have No
Yeah,
More? Yeah, I was
yeah,
introduced to him from that, and I was like, oh, this song's pretty good. And then
yeah. I know. I've been
I still
listening
have a
to him.
couple of his songs in my playlist.
Yeah, and I think like that's a great way. Same thing with like opening acts too. Like sometimes those guys can be absolutely heat. Sometimes they might not be what you're looking for. I know, you know, we just we know what we like, but like sometimes you could surprise yourself.
True. Well, I mean, you
Um,
can just walk down the street in like any major city and find like someone on the corner who just playing the guitar and singing could like
yeah,
speak to you and resonate with you more than like Beyonce, for
Do you see
example.
the
yeah,
TikToks of the guy who stands out in the street and like with a mic and like he'll play music for like just strangers to come up and sing?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
And
have
oh yeah,
some
yeah,
of the people that are there are just like incredibly talented and they don't take the chance to just try it out and see where they can go with it.
yeah. Because it's like what we were talking about before. Like, I have this issue where it's just like you're afraid, you're like nervous to put stuff out.
Just got to do
'Cause,
it.
yeah, you're nervous about what other people will think, what other people will say, but like at the end of the day, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I think if you're not doing it for yourself, then you're not doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's
Mhm.
something you love doing, why not do it? Just
Yeah,
put it out there. Put it
and
out
it's
there.
just stepping stones, like I was saying earlier.
Hmm.
I think what scares me though is like I haven't met that many people in my life who don't like music. I've met a couple, which I think is crazy. Like imagine asking someone like, "Yo, what kind of music do you like?" Oh, I just don't.
Like
I
I
don't
don't
listen
listen.
to
That's
music.
wild. Like pretty music is like kind of like a universal language, right? So like everyone to a certain extent enjoys music and likes music. So when I go to release music, I'm like, oh, look, everyone is a critic because everyone likes music. Everyone
Hmm.
Yeah.
has their opinions. Everyone likes their own versions of music. It's very personal. So like when I go to release music, I always fear that like that's when I'm really going to be judged.
But you also have to realize that there's so many people that are listening to it that everyone's going to have a different opinion. There's no right opinion. All that really
Yeah.
matters is how you feel about the project of what you made.
Yep. It's like the most
And
subjective thing ever.
hmm it's very I was thinking I can't think of the right word, but just it's all like it's very mental. There's the mental block that you just got to just hurdle
Yeah.
that, and then once you can kind of it's always the first project you release is always probably the one of the hardest to release because you're
Yeah.
scared to do it.
Trying to be a perfectionist. You ever
Oh
heard of the saying of like you're your own like worst enemy?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of people. And once you figure out like how to get past that mental block, like you were talking about, Chris, it's not all gonna be
So
like
no,
sunshine, rainbows, but like like you're taking that first step, and it's a big first step.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard though.
It
Yeah.
is tough, but once you get past it, you realize how much fun you could be having.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like you got to think about every major artist had to release something first.
hmm
Oh
Like
yeah,
like
that's
do you
true.
know like what Kendrick Lamar's first song is or like The Weeknd or like the
you don't.
biggest artists ever? You probably don't know their first ever song because it's just a stepping stone to making greater stuff.
Wow,
Hmm.
what
You're right
a
about
way to
that.
connect it back
Full circle moment,
Yeah,
full
look
boys.
at that.
circle.
There you
Look at
go.
that. Full circle.
What is
Thank
that
we can thank
from the movie?
what's the
Full
bird?
circle, full circle.
Oh yeah. What was that from?
The
Was it Joe
Hangover.
Pera? Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it was a hangover.
Um so yeah, I wanna quickly talk to you about this. Uh I know I played you a song before we started, but like the house music, like a lot of DJs or like producers are starting to make remix of like alternative rock or like indie rock songs. What are your thoughts on that? Like I know when we saw Mal P, he did a Tame Impala remix. of a song, and then he did Empire of the Sun remix.
Yeah. I think it's a great way for people to get acquainted with house music because you're listening to something that you're already familiar with, but it's being presented to you in something in like a whole new way. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could go to Mal P and he could be playing you like some crazy synthesizer that just doesn't really connect with you because it's like it might be new, it might not be like it might be unlike something that you know, but then you all of a sudden you hear like she's a dancing queen. All of a sudden, like you
Yeah.
know this, and you, like you can dance to this because like you can sing along. Like it's connected with you before, so it can reconnect with you again in like a different perspective. I think it's a cool way for people to like just get familiar with it. That being said, there are some songs that you should not touch. Like if I hear a house remix of like Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm gonna be upset.
Oh, I'm gonna do that now just to piss you off.
All right, Kabir, you could do it. I mean, I would like that, actually. It's got
You
to be
know,
good.
yeah, I showed Will a remix of Jammin' by
Oh
Bob
my God. Oh
and
my
it was
God.
a Fisher remix, and he hated it. He was
It's
like,
like disrespectful to Bob Marley's legacy.
turn this off, turn it off.
It's hard. But
Um,
I don't know. I think
yeah,
it's cool. As long as you do the song justice, I think it's all right. I don't have
yeah.
any. I think
Um,
yeah, it's cool.
all right, so let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Mm.
Um, so I want to just quickly backtrack. Out of all the concerts, like festivals you guys have gone to, what has been your favorite and your least favorite like experience?
Least favorite's got to be Hablo. No, I'm just kidding. Hablo is actually ranks pretty highly for me, but I think a lot of that just had to do with it just being a good night, and
Yeah.
I mean, they were also amazing. So like it just worked out really well.
I think the
Uh,
personal factor played a huge, like being such a little crowd.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
How intimate
Very
the
intimate.
concert was?
I would say for me, my favorite was Ocean Alley for sure. Ocean Alley was
Oh
really.
yeah.
I've only been to three concerts, so like it's not many. I don't
What
think
have
I've
you
ever
been
had a bad
to?
experience though. I think it's very. I think it's very hard to have a bad experience at a concert, like unless you really just don't like the music or they sound terrible.
Yeah.
Sober.
Or yeah, that too.
It's like no, I'm just kidding. I think that's only a factor if you don't like the music. I think like
'Cause-
I saw I think like I'll be honest. This is I mean, I'm speaking with bias for sure, but my least favorite concert I've ever been to was actually my first ever concert, which was Zach Brown Band our freshman year.
oh,
I just don't
Oh
like
man.
country music and I was sober, so like, those just don't really go together.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, that was I mean, it was like still fun because like good people, good crowd, but it just doesn't like the best part
Yeah.
of that concert was when they weren't playing country music. It's just
I
bias.
can't believe you just said that, Will.
It's
Oh
bias.
man,
I saw them in concert and I enjoyed it.
I'm
Will,
so
you're gonna have
biased.
some enemies after that one.
That was a lot of fun.
Listen, I'll speak on it. I just don't. My thing with country music, I think a lot of those songs are very well written. The lyrics are beautiful. The instrumentation is very good. Like I listen to a lot of country songs where I'm like, okay, and then they start singing in that southern accent, and it all goes out the window for me. That's the only thing because I like some country music where they don't sing in like a southern accent.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It's just the accent for me.
Yeah, I think some also they put the accent on even more
Yeah, like they
when
all
they
that
sing.
twang is on it, all of
Yeah,
it.
it's the twang.
The Southern twang.
Southern twang.
Ah,
I know
I mean,
Kabir,
I feel
Speaking
like
of Southern twang,
yeah.
but
What? What?
oh, I was just gonna say. Oh, actually, no, Kabir, you didn't say your concerts.
Um, my least favorite concert had to be this one album listening party we went to. Uh
Oh my God, that was
yeah, something about Dollar Dog Night. Absolutely. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
the
kidding.
producer was a
that's so
joke.
funny.
Yeah, whoever
That's
the
so
producer
funny.
was, this guy stood on a table, screamed on the top of his lungs, and said, "Hey guys, can I have your attention for a moment?"
Oh my God. Oh, I forgot about that. That's so funny.
Oh man, no. That
We're
wasn't
not
a
hating.
really,
No, we're not
that was a
hating.
fun time. That was a fun night. For those of you who don't know, that was Will and our friend Colba Kwan's debut album. Or was that his debut album?
Yeah, album
Yeah.
wise, yeah.
Okay.
Like an EP
Well,
out before, but
we were just giving
I
Will
was,
I was just giving Will a hard time, so I'm sorry. Will, I'm sorry.
no, you're okay. That was a
Um,
fun night anyway.
I think my least favorite, I don't know if I had a least favorite. I think I'm just gonna say Two Friends was bad
Mm.
just because
Hmm.
the way it ended, CJ and I were like so dead, no energy, no, we were not hydrated. We were so hungry afterwards, and it was just, yeah, it was terrible, and it was freezing
Circumstances you
outside.
guys were in.
Yeah, the circumstances were bad. I
Yeah,
have to
that's
say,
the kind of show you need energy for too.
yeah, I'd say my favorites either have to be like Hablo or probably Mal P. Mal P was awesome. That was a good night too.
Uh-huh.
Um, Mal P, I was definitely a little more prepared for. I had a little drink in me, you know, so I had a good night. Yeah, I want to move over quickly. Let's shift subjects from music to spring break. Um, I want to talk a little bit about our spring break last year. I feel like in my personal experience, that was the only time in college where I actually did a spring break trip. Is that the same for you guys, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never, unless it was with family. I think we might have went.
Yeah.
Or I did Apex the one year, if you can count that.
I would count that.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
count
I mean,
that.
went to
You were so you're
Virginia.
doing good deeds.
Yeah,
That's a
you're
great
helping,
spring
Yeah,
break.
yeah, you know,
helping the
I'm a good
people.
person, whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Um, so for those of you who don't know, our spring break group, it was me, Chris, that you see right here, William, Chris Durante, CJ, and our good old friend Cam Wee.
Big shout
Um,
outs to Cam Wee.
big
Hmm.
shout out to Cam Wee. Uh, yeah, so we went to the beautiful state of South Carolina. We went to Myrtle Beach. While everybody was getting all dolled up in Cancun, we went to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Middle of March too.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I will say it was a great I had a great time just because one, it was not busy.
Nah, it wasn't at
Mm-mm.
all.
Um,
Again,
two,
middle of March.
vibes, yeah, middle of March, it was freezing out. But vibes were immaculate. I will
They
say that.
were.
You got listen, we made the most of it. That's all you got to do.
We did. It does, and it doesn't matter what the situation is, it's what the people do,
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
who
I
you
think
It's
we
who you're
honestly like.
surrounded by.
I
hmm
think that's the biggest part is like we just had a good group of people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like I don't mean to diminish like what we did in any way, but I honestly think we could have gone anywhere and
Yeah.
still
Still
had
had a
as
good
good of
time,
a
yeah.
So
time.
had fun.
So
Yeah.
what wait, I remember we were talking about places that we wanted to go. What were some places we were talking about? I remember
Amsterdam.
yeah, we did talk about Amsterdam.
Italy. Someone mentioned Italy, and then we were
Yeah.
like, hmm,
Yeah, we were gonna road trip California too, weren't we?
yeah,
Weren't we about that?
Yeah.
we're gonna do like California to then also um what's the one of the lakes in California?
Oh,
I don't know.
I think we were talking about going to Yosemite. I
Yes,
think.
maybe
Yeah.
Yosemite, but then also
Remember the
I forget. But
oh.
I know
I
we wanted
honestly
to go
think what
see
we did was
the
worth it.
redwood.
We could have gone to Miami.
Yeah,
No,
we
I'm not,
could.
I didn't. No, Miami's never in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cards for me, bro. I'm good on that one.
Yeah. Speaking of Miami, do you see what's going on down there?
You can't
Did they
go to
like
Miami anymore.
Can't go to Miami anymore.
in
So
any
they
context, or is it just like a just the was it just the beach, or is it like they just
so
closed?
they're trying to screw over, well, not screw over, because these college kids that go down there all the time like act like a fool, like they do.
Like
Like
we did.
like we yeah, exactly like we did.
Mostly Miami Beach.
Yeah, Miami Beach, it's mostly like, just because like after spring break, there's a lot of property damage and stuff like that.
It's also dangerous down there,
Yeah.
dude. There's
Yeah.
So
always
I'm
some
not,
type of shooting or something,
yeah.
robbing.
So can I show you guys? Can I share my screen really quickly?
Please,
This
yeah.
this is an advertisement they had. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, this is an advertisement they had for, to get people to stop filming.
We need to talk.
Can you hear it?
This
Yeah.
isn't working anymore. And it's not us. It's you. We just want different things. Our idea of a good time is relaxing on the beach. Hitting up the spa. Or checking out a new restaurant. You just want to get drunk in public and ignore laws. Do you even remember what happened last?
Oh my God.
That was our breaking point. So we're breaking up with you. And don't try to apologize and come crawling back. This isn't safe. So we're done. And just so you know, we're serious. This March, you can expect things like curfews, bag checks, and restricted beach access.
No way.
Points. 100 with parking.
Do you no way, dude?
Drug
People are
possession
done
and
for.
violence. Whatever it takes, because it's time to move on. Maybe we can talk when you're done with your spring break phase, but
Yeah, that's awesome. They just need like the little "these are not paid actors" sign at the end.
Oh yeah. I mean,
oh.
did you guys hear that?
What was that?
It was a podcast I watched. It started playing next. But yeah, no, that's crazy. Did you think, well, like, what's the new destination gonna be for these spring break kids?
Myrtle Beach, baby.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle
Let's
Beach,
go.
that's the way to
Don't
go.
Don't go. Don't go.
Yeah.
Dude, we went go-karting. That was awesome. That
That
was
was
that was the
awesome. Yeah,
highlight.
we had a great time.
I beat Will in a race.
You certainly do. You
Dude,
certainly did not.
dude,
I
that was an
passed you like
F1.
on the same curve,
Oh,
on the same track.
that
Like
was an F1 type maneuver I made. That was
yeah,
a,
all right. So like
so
what you got
Will,
me like 1-7.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, let's do it.
let's do a little background. I was doing pretty bad all day in the go-kart.
True. That's true.
I wasn't last, all right? That's the best part. I wasn't dead last. I think Cam came last every time. And there was one race. I forgot what kind of track it was, but I started at the end. I started at the end of the thing, and I was right behind Will. Finally, it gets to we get like the last 4 laps of the race. CJ's in first, Will's in second, I'm in third. My whole plan is just to get around Will. So I start making some pretty cool maneuvers throughout. I'm like, huh, all right. In that first lap of the final 4, I'm like, all right, let me try to fake him out. Didn't work. Tried it again the second lap. And then the third lap, I'm like, all right, I gotta switch up the game plan because he's reading it. So I'll try doing it again. And then last second I'll fake him out. And then I faked him out. And I think you're like, what the hell? Like, come on, dude. I think I was going a little try hard just because of the lack of success I was having.
So yeah, I was thinking I remember this because I was thinking to myself like let him have this one, like he's
Be
been
nice to the
trashed all
kid.
day.
Be nice to him.
That's
Like
not
he
what
deserves
happened.
this one for morale, he deserves it.
All I know
He's
is that
serious.
Will got fed up with the driving. He went to go play our second round of mini golf.
Oh yeah, that's what I was there for.
The
Yeah.
cars were also rigged, and this is at every golf
They
cart
were,
place.
yeah.
There's always some that are very fast, some that are like medium, and then some that are just like ridiculously slow that you're gonna get lapped by the
Yeah.
other people with the
Yeah.
fast cars.
Yeah. You
It's
want
gonna
you
be
know
like
what
some
I
7-year-old kid who's like cracked out on like lollipops. He's gonna pass you at like
Yeah.
Mach 5.
Yeah.
Dude.
Or a
So
kid that thinks
let's
it's actually F1 and he's like taking it
Yeah,
way
just
too
ram
serious.
you in the back.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, all right, kid.
Speaking of that, remember that one track that was just like a big circle?
Yeah.
Remember when we did that one kid wouldn't let anyone pass him?
Oh my
Would
God,
like
I
brake
know.
check
He
everybody.
would also like swerve in and out.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
having like a mom on the way to soccer practice.
yeah, I forgot who did it. Someone made a move on him and just spun him out.
That's
I forgot who it was. I think it was
a
just
Durrani move, and I mean that in the
yeah,
nicest way possible.
just spun him out and was like, "Fuck you, kid. Fuck you." Just like, oh man. I mean, go karting's fun. Don't get me wrong, but like at the
Yeah, we
same
had a
time,
phenomenal time.
it's like some of these kids, like, I hate to be like a grown man shitting on these little kids, but like
But they're menaces, dude. They're
they are
menaces.
menaces,
They
bro.
don't belong
They don't
behind the
care.
wheel.
They don't care.
They're making it
You need
dangerous.
a
They're making it
license to
dangerous.
operate a go-kart. Like,
Yeah,
oh
they're
my
making
God.
it
And then it's like,
dangerous for us, like actual F1 drivers, like like the five of us are.
yeah,
So,
of course. And you
so
got like the dad cheering him on like it's a demolition derby. Like,
yeah.
hit him. Like it's terrible. Like you remember the one guy who was like literally like yelling at his kid like to go faster on like
Oh
the
yeah,
because he just kept
yep,
hitting everyone from the back.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pause. You know what I mean? You know what I meant.
Um,
You know what I mean.
yeah, 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 yeah. Moving on, moving on. So, as you know, I'd like to say, like, you know, we're all like really good friends, and as all really good friends do in college, they start a company.
We brainstorm and we get to these
We
things.
brainstorm. I still remember the night we did it. It was me, Will, uh, Chris. I think you were there, and CJ, right?
Yep.
And was Durrani there too, or did we fill him in on it later? I can't really recall.
You're talking about like the beginnings of Oddity.
Yeah, the first meeting, the idea that we had, we're like, yo, let's make a shirt company.
Well, I remember
It was
you
you two first.
yeah, I remember you texted me over winter break about starting a company. And then I also remember that like Chris and I had talked about it like briefly before you had brought it up too. So like it kind of was like a everyone kind of having the same idea coming together.
Yeah.
But
Um, so as you know, our company called Oddity Supply Co. Or was it Clothing Co?
yeah, it was both.
It was both.
Went through
Um, that company essentially did we determine that it dissolved, or are you still running it strong?
yeah, I think you're gonna ask me like the do's and don'ts, right? About
Yep,
the
Yeah.
company. Yeah, do's and don'ts. All right, let's
because
get first
we
thing.
definitely made a lot of mistakes.
Well, I was just gonna say if you're talking do's and don'ts, just don't. Just don't. Just don't do it. Don't.
Yep.
No, all jokes aside though, it was fun. Definitely was not successful though.
It was
Yeah.
one of those things where I think if you are first off financially capable of doing it, because there
Part of
is
it.
money that goes into it,
Yep. A lot.
and there's that dream of like, hey, what if this takes off? Like, what if
Yeah, I
what if
think
we
What's the dream?
go
Like,
somewhere?
yeah, I
what have
think
we got?
that's what enticed us a little bit, the little bit of the forbidden fruit,
Yeah, well said. Yeah.
But
Slap
I
a
know,
lot of brick.
yeah, one
That's
thing, like,
It's almost like a West Side Story.
yeah, exactly. A purpose. God damn. Oh my
That's
gosh.
yeah, no one's gonna get that reference,
Yeah,
but
No,
yeah,
no.
still a
just
quality
go right
reference.
over that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, but like with us in the shirt company or just any company in general, like same thing, you kind of have to we kind of got lost in I'm like I look at me, I'm making excuses for us already. I'm gonna say we got lost in our schoolwork. Um,
It definitely wasn't easy balancing it
yeah.
at all, especially
So it
some of us
was
have jobs too. Like,
yeah, and
There's a lot that goes
I'd say
into it.
like what? When did we actually start producing stuff for sale? Like junior year or is that senior year?
uh, I mean, technically, never.
Or no, I mean,
Yeah.
Like,
but for the sororities that we
Yeah, we
did.
were doing sorority
oh yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but
we
like
did
that was a
work
lot of
for, or yeah, that was
community stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. But our own branded stuff, we never really sold much of, unless it was like to friends.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know.
I honestly though, I still will I'll die on a hill with this that we still had you had some of the best graphics that were made though.
Yeah,
I
seconded.
appreciate that. They were pretty cool. Some of the stuff, like I still wear some of the stuff that we
Mhm.
made, but
That's why you're an artist, Will. That's why you are the artist. You're a lobster.
what?
What? Come on.
A lobster? What's the connection?
I I just wanted to say it. I don't know why. I started thinking, I don't know. We'll pass. We'll move on. We'll move on.
I'm gonna ask you about that later.
Yeah,
Well,
On that one.
um, yeah, so let's are we think we're good on the do's and don'ts of the clothing company, or we want to touch a little bit more on this subject?
All right. I mean, for anyone listening, if you want to start a clothing company, don't go into it thinking that it's going to be easy. Don't go into it thinking you're going to make a lot of money.
Hmm.
Do go into it with an open mind though. It's a lot of fun. It's cool. It's like even if nothing really came out of it, it was still fun to talk about it. Still fun to be organized and like kind of like work together on something.
Have some
Hmm.
business
Yeah,
meetings.
like
Yeah,
business meetings, right?
business. Yeah, and another thing, like, sorry to interrupt. I know you're going on it, but
Oh, you're good.
our biggest problem was that our business meetings just turned into four guys, or not five guys. Yeah, there's five
Just
guys. Yeah. Turned into just five lads staying up till 12 a.m. just shooting the shit, not getting any work done.
Yeah, we
Um
talk about it for like 15 minutes and then someone
yeah.
would like,
We're like, "Oh,
yeah.
you want to see this? You want to see this new show I
yeah,
found?"
look at this video and then like rabbit hole.
Someone
Yeah.
starts watching TikToks.
Yeah. That's all right though.
I
That's
think
all
though,
right.
I think people should give it a shot. I think there needs to be like a I'm trying to think of like way to describe it. You can't have it you need to just be open-minded, I would say. Just be able to
Yeah.
like let it where it goes.
Yeah, that's true. And also like do a lot of research. A
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah, a
research.
lot. You need to understand where to buy stuff, materials, how
Yep.
you're gonna produce your thing, how you're gonna produce your clothes.
Yeah.
Um,
You're
Yeah,
honestly
look at
better off
some
not making it yourself too.
yeah. Also look at like I know we did this. We were talking about making like some St. Joseph's clothing. Definitely look at your school's guidelines if you're planning on doing something like that, which we didn't do until after. Thankfully, we didn't do like a mass production of anything.
Yeah.
Um, our plan was just like, make the shirts, sell them through the school at the bookstore, which that's another viable option, but make sure like to talk to people about that, talk to the school, and then have that kind of representation, but like at the same time it's not far-fetched, but it's going to be tough. It's a tough journey no matter what you do, just keep your foot down, pedal to the metal, and then just keep it going.
Keep trying too. Don't
um
give up on it.
yeah,
Like I said, wait,
so
another full circle moment.
go
full
Stepping,
ahead, go
circle,
ahead.
stepping
Full
stones.
circle.
stepping stone.
Stepping stones. Oh my God.
um so look, um we're all college grads, dare I say recent, because it's about to be
A year.
a year. That's crazy. Flew by.
Yeah, I
And
don't even want to talk about
yeah.
it.
So this is what I kind of want to leave us, like, before we get into like the song of the week, how we always do. This is the kind of last thing I want to touch up on. Just for like if there's anybody out there like in the same boat, just know you're like not alone in it. So the three of us are, college grads. And would you say you guys, like, I know life, we're living life, we're having fun, but at the same time, like, is it safe to say that we're all in our own way kind of struggling with something?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
not
know,
easy.
yeah, whether that be with like mental health or like, finding another job, finding more education, or, just like life in general. Like it's tough, life gets tougher when you're older. I know for me, like it's a little bit of everything, just like finding the job, especially like when you're not getting a lot of answers back or anything like that, it's tough to hear the no's. But at the same time, like you can't give up. I know it's a little hard. Like I've been going through a little like tough streak myself.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I was talking to Will about this the other day. Like it's getting to the point where it's just like I've done it so many times, but like, do I even keep trying? But like, yeah,
You
you
have
need,
to, dude.
you have to,
Yeah.
you have to,
When you give up is the second that it's over.
Over.
Yeah,
It's pointless to give up because what are you gonna do? Like, you
yeah.
just got to keep attacking, and that's the only way it's gonna improve. Stepping stones.
I was about to say that, dude. I was just about to
I
say
beat you
that.
to it. I beat you
Like,
to it.
yeah, like I don't think anyone, unless like it's like nepotism, you don't really get like the dream job right out the gate.
Yeah.
Like you gotta like work a job you don't like for a little bit. I mean, that's just how it is. No one can really just get to the ideal spot in less than a year. You just
And
gotta
I
keep
also
trying. Don't give
it's
up
not
on it.
fulfilling that way too. I
Yeah.
think there's a
Like
fulfillment factor
When it's just
to
handed to you, yeah, I agree.
you gotta
build,
earn it. You gotta
building
work
something
hard.
and be like, yeah, I earned this spot. And I think
Yeah.
also with your going back to kind of the struggles without even regardless of employment status, like it's a different adjustment when you're going from being in a community with all kids around your age or being on campus and seeing people that you know a lot often and then you step outside and you're back home or you moved out and you don't have that interaction that's consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's you have to kind of adjust, and I think that's when weekends are important. I mean, we do a great job of trying to hang out as much as possible. I think that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think also you get so caught up in being a student for so long. It's all you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first time in like 12 plus years, even more than that, that we're not
Hmm.
like when it went to like September, I was like, this is weird. This is the first time in my life that I don't have to be somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't have to
Yeah.
go back to school. I don't have homework. I don't have people to report to like I used to. Like it's a hard adjustment. You're kind
Yeah.
of like on your own for the first time in your life and
Hmm.
like not really given many like instructions on
that's
what to do. It's kind of just like a blank canvas.
Yeah.
figure it out. And you
Hmm.
get guidance along the way from people
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it.
It's the biggest thing too. You just got to learn and
Yeah.
listen to people who've been in
Be
this.
open-minded. And you're also gonna have to fail. Plain and
Yeah,
simple.
that's just how it is.
You know what they say, the best thing about hitting rock bottom, there's only one way up.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yep.
You just quote SpongeBob.
Is that what he said?
Isn't that like an episode in SpongeBob where
it
he's like,
is. Yeah, it is. It is.
All right, well, darn tootin', I
that's
copied.
what I'm talking about. You got to learn
It's
from
Yep.
everything, even if it's a kids show. There's still lessons.
There's messages in everything, man.
Yeah, man, go
Like,
watch Avatar. That'll teach you about everything.
yeah.
oh yeah. But yeah, no, just know that if you're in the same position as us or like, you're worried about anything in one day, like just know like keep your head down, keep grinding, don't, like
Hmm.
Nick A30 says, never back down, never what? Come on, guys. Never
Never
back
give
Never
down,
give up.
up.
never
Heck.
what?
I Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that.
We're not doing this.
So what? Yeah. So what's the song of the day, guys?
Yeah, guys, what's your song of the week? Let's hear it. Give us the song your song, tell us who it's by, and then give us why.
Okay. All right. Cool. I got a kind of a weird one for you. Not like that weird. So my song of the week is gonna be "Valley in the Ocean" by Bruno Pernades. He is a Portuguese artist who makes like jazz pop fusion, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of strange, but it's such a beautiful song. Like the synth line just kind of like scratches that part of your brain. It kind of feels like it's like massaging.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's a very beautiful song,
therapeutic in a sense.
very well produced, well sang. It's cool. It's a good song. It's been on rotation a lot for me recently. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Kabir,
Uh,
I'm
let,
still
let-
figuring mine out.
oh, you're still figuring it out? So this is a song recently discovered today. It's called Freddy Krabs by Sticky Fingers.
Oh, they
Uh,
just dropped a new album.
yeah, so the album's a remastered version of like an original. I forgot what year that one came out.
2013.
2013, yeah. So it's a remastered like 11 years later kind of thing. Um and I haven't really heard the original version of the song, but from what I've heard, I'm a big fan of that. I might listen to the remastered one and then work my way back, try to spot some differences and everything. But, it's getting warmer out. Today it was a nice solid 60 degrees. Last week we had a day where it was 85. Um, so I'm enjoying listening to this music that makes me want to go hang out at the beach.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think actually, you know who I've been listening to a lot recently, and it's been some Mac Miller. I
Okay.
Okay.
don't know if I have a specific song. Um, I just think the album, I have to, I don't want to mess it up. So swimming, yeah, swimming. I listened going back within that album, and there's just a lot of great songs on there that have deep meaning to them. And I like one I've been listening to a lot. I mean, Small World's Ladders.
Yeah.
There's a
Great.
lot of great songs in there. I would say
Yeah.
Ladders is what I've been listening to the most.
They hit so much harder like after he passed too.
Oh yeah.
It like puts a lot of lyrics into like a different perspective.
You think of it, you think of life you listen to the music and you think of life differently from a
Yeah,
different
100%.
perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's what it's it for me.
Yeah. Well,
another one.
uh, just once again, Will, thank you
Can
for
I get one more
being an
song?
Of
awesome guest.
course.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more,
Go
one
ahead.
more. Okay. Because I just thought of this. So I was in a Wawa the other day. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm at the urinal, whatever. Unnecessary information, but I'm like going to the bathroom. I guess I do. I can't help but like listen to this song, and I'm like, I'm dancing to it. So I go to Shazam it on my phone, and it's not working. Like I'm trying to like get it. So I go and hold it up by the speaker. Like I'm going like this. Like I'm holding it up by the speaker that's like right in front of the door.
Please
And
tell
as
me
I'm
something.
holding it there, this dude just walks in. He's like, he looks at me kind of funny, and I was like, yo, this song's just a jam. And he just like, it's like this old man, no disrespect, but he just like nods and just goes, this is a jam. And then goes to the bathroom. And that song was the 2005 dance remix of Copacabana by Barry Manilow.
All
Absolute
right.
banger song.
Amazing, amazing.
It's such a good like it's good when you're like going to the bathroom and you're like
You're like,
You
holy,
want to sing it for us a
you're
little bit?
actually like thinking about it.
you said you want me to sing it for you?
Yeah, can you sing a little bit of it?
No.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy. Come on.
it
Come
goes
on.
like at the
Push the group.
Copacabana, the
Yeah.
hottest spot north
All
of
right.
Atlanta. All right, that's all you get.
There it is.
Cut that
Dude,
out.
finally, I got one
Kabir's got
person to
something
sing.
about him where he just wants to hear someone sing on every episode.
Yeah.
Is that a trending thing?
Yeah.
Should I
Whoa. You're
like my
telling me you
vocals?
don't listen to the podcast, Will?
Oh, I do. I do. I listen to it like when I go to work and stuff like that. I listen.
Better.
He never
Or
makes it to
else.
the end. Never makes it to the end.
I got a 15-minute drive. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah. All right.
Will, yeah, thank you again. You've been an awesome, awesome guest.
There it is.
There it is.
Yes.
I had to drink my
Uh,
coffee fast enough to show you guys.
yeah, no, thanks. Thanks for being an awesome guest.
Alright.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
thanks
taking
for
some
having me.
time out
This
of
was a lot
your
of
day.
fun.
Well, we
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
If you,
Anytime, I'm happy to come back. This has been a great
yeah,
time.
we'd love to have you back. We'll set some things up. We'll reach out to your manager.
Yeah, my
We'll reach out
schedule's
to,
super booked recently, so no.
yeah, yeah, I know you're filming that new Peter Pan movie. So we know you're busy. Oh,
Yeah,
so we'll
I'll send that
we'll
out
get
there.
something going. But yeah, no, guys, thanks for listening today.
Yeah, shout out
We'll
all
be
the
All right.
people.
back. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Will, you want to say anything before you go?
Um, ooh, okay. No, I don't have anything. I thought I need like an inspirational quote. Uh, no.
Stepping stones. Stepping
Listen,
stones.
guys, listen. It's all about stepping stones. Think
Yeah.
about it. or don't. Doesn't matter.
Sticks and stones
just
might break his
have
bones, but still.
No bits of will wisdom today other than be yourself, be happy, tell your friends you love them, hug your parents extra hard.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yep.
spend some time outside. It's nice out, it's warm, you know.
Let the warm weather create some positive energy for you, you know?
Spend some kindness. Do a good thing, do a good deed. Yeah, that's all
Yep.
I got.
Well said.
Drink
Yep.
coffee from a foul language bird mug.
Yes, that too.
Shout
And
out to the
Shazam
Southern
music in the
Screamer. Wow,
Wawa
that's
bathroom.
crazy. Yeah, these are so funny. I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away.
Guys,
All right.
well, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. We are creating a social media page, and on there we'll have a link. We're gonna force Will to make um pottery. He will single-handedly with every order create a new mug for you guys. Anything you
true.
want, he'll create for you. If you want PVC pipe, he'll make PVC pipe.
It's true.
If you want a picture of Santa Claus holding a champagne bottle, he'll do it.
I'm on
If
standby.
Yep. If you want a foul language bird mug, he'll go to Barnes and Noble and he'll buy it and ship
We'll
it to
buy
you.
another one.
Yep. Yeah. So let's leave it at that. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.